Hello and welcome to another episode of Historic Hindsight. I'm John, that's Tom, and today we're being petty.
That's right, Johnny. We're being petty because pettiness was the name of the game after the Confederacy lost the war, because that's pretty much created this weird phase during Reconstruction where a lot of ex-soldiers, both on North and South, decided, well, we know how to shoot people real good, but we don't really know how to do anything else, and there's nobody really hiring because of an influx of cheap labor. So what do we do but rape and pillage?
So we're talking about bandits during the Reconstruction. This is post the Civil War.
Well, part of our story takes place in the last year of the war, and then goes into the early 70s. We're talking about one myth in particular, a man by the name of Tom Clark, aka Mountain Tom Clark. Johnny, it's my namesake here, which is kind of funny because
nice nickname.
Like my namesake, I would not describe myself as a mountain, nor would I describe this particular man as a mountain.
Oh,
kind of a
scrawny. So he's built like
dude.
you,
yeah,
but called Mountain. Was it? Was he from the mountains or something?
Well, I mean, he was born in Tennessee and then moved down to Alabama.
Maybe Appalachia.
Yeah, maybe
Appalachia, maybe.
Or
maybe he just gave himself that nickname.
He might have. I'm going to preface this episode with, like a lot of the myths of the Wild West, or the myths of our bandit and gang leaders and that kind of stuff, there's a lot of not known information. And there's a lot of stories that have been told from year to year to year, which cannot be corroborated by any kind of facts. So that's what this is.
So there's probably a good deal of fish stories in this, where it was that big.
Yes, a lot of fish stories in this one. But in any case, Johnny, let's get into it. Mountain Tom Clark, he was born somewhere in East Tennessee, most likely Franklin County. And we say Franklin County because that's where he will marry his wife, is in Franklin County. We think somewhere between 1821 and 1829. I have seen references to pretty much every one of those days in between 1821 and 1829, so don't even know when this.
Why don't we know who is not keeping track?
Well, Johnny, believe it or not, the U.S. government didn't give a shit about birth records at this point in time. In fact, if you were lucky, you had a family Bible where you would write down your kids that you birthed and the parents that you were from, and pass that down from generation to generation. But as far as government birth records, that really wasn't a thing until 1900, and didn't really become standard until 1919. And believe it or not, Johnny, it was 1989 when it actually became universal, nationwide in the United States, where this is what a birth certificate is supposed to look like.
Uniform birth certificate.
Yeah.
Not until 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that explains the Obama birth certificate fiasco. If they would have started this shit a lot earlier, it would have been a standard form, and would have been no question.
No question asked. Now, he is going to marry his wife, Sarah Bradford, in Franklin County, Tennessee, and around 1850, he's going to move his family to Lauderdale County, Alabama, where he's going to pretty much spend most of the rest of his life. At the war, it becomes very evident early on that Confederates need men, and so they start conscription pretty much right off the bat. And if you're an able-bodied man, you're going to be fighting.
Yeah,
and
real early.
Mountain Tom Clark says, I don't want no part of that, and says, screw this, and bounces.
Wait, hold up. Wait, whoa! He's a deserter?
Yeah, deserter right off the bat from the Confederate Army. Yeah.
Yikes! Well, maybe he was from Tennessee and a Northern supporter, or is that?
Maybe he is chased by conscription officers, and they will catch up to him in late 1864 or early 1865 when he is at his home, which is an unfinished home, where he's literally in the process of building a chimney to try to heat the home for his wife and newborn child that are both sickly. So the conscription officers come knocking, and he's forced to flee again and try to run away from them. This time he does go to the north and join the Union Army, which was very common.
Did his wife and child come with him?
To join the army?
Abandon them there?
He's abandoning them there. Good luck, chimney sap milk. You'll figure it out.
Guys, I can't fight in the war because I have to take care of my family. Oh, you're going to make me go anyway? Well, sayonara, family. I guess I'm going up north.
Anyways, and then join the other
this guy
side. Yeah.
What a treat.
Yeah, well, you're going to learn that he's just a treat all around. Anyways, he's going to decide that he doesn't like army life in the North either very, very quickly, and he's going to desert from the Union Army. And so he deserts from both armies. Yeah, just says, no.
Okay, he's got to be one of the only, there can't be many people who have deserted both the Confederate and the Union armies during the Civil War.
I imagine that it happened. I mean, it probably wasn't common, but I don't think it was as rare.
It can't have been common.
But I don't think it's like he's the only one, though, either. I can see, because again, with Southern conscription, it was not very pleasant. It wasn't like you got drafted, your number got called. It was literally them going house to house, like searching for people and pulling them out of the house and like, you're now in the war.
Well, do you want to know why? Because they didn't have any birth records, Tommy, and so they didn't know who lived where and how old they were, so they just knocked on a door, found a dude who looked like he could hold a gun, and said, you're joining the army.
Yeah, pretty much, Johnny. Now, legend says that after he deserted from the Union Army, so his second desertion, that he formed a gang, or joined a gang is more likely, because
and then deserted them?
Yeah, this gang was comprised of outlaws, deserters, and guerrilla fighters, known as the Clifton Shebang, also known as the Buggers. So I'm going to go ahead and go out and limp here and say if he formed the gang, it would not be called the Clifton Shebang, it would be called the Clark Shebang, and...
That's a hell of a name.
The Clifton Shebang or the Buggers, like that's Clifton the other name that they went as,
and
the
Buggers. I wouldn't claim to have started that game.
I wouldn't claim to be a part of it.
Just based on the name alone. Yeah, I would have said that. No, I joined it, took it over, rose ranks, whatever.
Yeah,
which is probably more likely.
No. Yeah, probably, maybe.
He didn't start a gang. He made a gang relevant.
Well, when he gets caught, his gang is more like two other dudes. But anyways, Johnny, jumping ahead too far. The first written reference to Mountain Tom Clark was by a Captain Lot Abraham of the Company D, 4th Iowa Cavalry, that reported that several citizens had made formal complaints against him that ex-Union soldiers, or possibly even Union soldiers, were stealing and robbing from the countryside. And in his report, Captain Abraham said that he believed the men were following a former Lieutenant Thrasher who had also fled and deserted, and named Mountain Tom Clark as being one of the potential people who was out and about doing this, just based on descriptions that the citizens had been telling him of what these men look like.
But to be fair, Union soldiers and Confederate, because he was on both, they both were... doing this pillaging thing, because he counts for both armies.
Yeah, in this part in 1865, you got the total war going on for the Union now for quite a while, and then you've got the Confederates that are just desperate, and then you got the random people who are no longer fighting and just saying, screw this shit, I'm done, who are also desperate for food and supplies. So yeah, everybody, if you are just an average citizen in Alabama, you are fucked. Just proper screwed at this time.
Yeah, so this is like people coming back from Iraq or Afghanistan or Vietnam or whatever, and I assume these people are wearing their uniforms probably or something similar to it, because that's what they have. Could you imagine just like a group of former Afghanistan soldiers being like, oh, you want to know what? I'm going to come back and I'm going to get together with 5 other dudes and we're just going to go door to door and just take what we want. That's what's happening, right?
Yeah, that's exactly, Johnny. That's exactly what's happening.
If I had 5 dudes in military garb come to my door, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, there you go. Here, take whatever you want.
All right, you guys want to come in and sleep? Like, what? You want to snooze? I don't know.
So the first murderous raid on record that we can attribute to the Buggers or to Mountain Tom Clark was against the Wilson Plantation home in 1865 in Alabama. This is, like I said,
they elevated it. They weren't just doing armed robbery stuff. Now they're killing folks.
Yeah, they're going to be killing folks. This is his first confirmed raid.
That's worse.
And here's the facts that we know. He goes to the Wilson home because he believes that Wilson had buried money somewhere in the property, and he was trying to go get that money, which makes sense because if you had any kind of valuables, you're going to bury them because everybody and their brother is coming and knocking on your door trying to steal it. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And it's a plantation, so these are the guys that are kind of responsible for this whole shit. You put your gold in a coffee tin,
bury it under the old oak tree.
Yep.
And you're good to go.
Yep. In the home, they're going to find a John Wilson, who's the owner of the home, on his sick bed. They're also going to find Wilson's nephew, Harvey Wilson, and grandson, Turner Foster, in the home. And we know that the gang killed all 3 men, so...
Oh, shit.
That's not.
Do you know how old those men were? Obviously one's super old. One is probably middle-aged.
The grandson is, from what I understand, a minor, and the other 2 are adults.
Okay. But they just killed, didn't tie them up and just rob them and then leave them?
Here's the legend part, Johnny, and this is the part that's not necessarily confirmed, but it's the legendary part. It's pretty gruesome. They actually torture Wilson, and by doing that, they get him naked, tie him to the bed, light burning pieces of paper on fire, and just drop it on him, put little pieces of paper in between his toes and light those on fire, just burning the shit out of this guy who's on a sick bed, dying, and screw him.
His body is crapping out on and giving up already, and you're gonna go ahead and just activate all of its defense and alarm systems by, the body just has little bursts of burning flesh now all over the place, and is probably going to start freaking out. And did he die from?
No, he dies by getting shot. Because as Mountain admits himself, he said he wasn't in a talkative mood, so we just shot him.
Oh, that's not how. That's bad. This is bad. He's a bad gang leader.
Yeah, it's bad interrogation. Yeah.
You want to know what makes him talk? He clip off a toe.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Just burning him alive.
No, that's nonsense. Clip a toe. And then we'll see how willing he is to talk. You don't just kill him.
Or shoot the grandson in front of him or something.
He has exactly. He knows where all the treasure is.
You don't kill him. You save him for last. Yeah.
This is torture 101, folks.
Yeah, not the smartest criminal here. Anyways, now while alive, Mountain Tom is going to boast that no man could run over Mountain Tom Clark. And this is a boast that he just continued to say over and over and over again. I'm assuming it's referring to, nobody's going to capture him, nobody's going to, walk all over him, nobody's going to put the boot on his head or any of that kind of stuff.
Don't tread on me. Is that what it is? Is it? Is it a don't...
Don't tread on me.
Nobody's going to tread on me.
Don't tread on me. No step on snake. Yeah, this is his no step on snake slogan. He's also going to claim while alive that he killed 19 men and 1 child. And again, the child is believed to be the Turner Foster, the grandchild of John Wilson.
I mean, maybe just, if you're going to build your own legend, maybe leave out the child.
Leave out the child part.
Nobody hears that you killed a child and is like, oh yeah, well done. You must be a big man here.
Yeah.
That makes you a coward and
kind of a dick. Kind of a dick. Although, many folklore legends in the United States...
I think murder in general makes you kind of a dick.
Well, yeah.
It elevates it, no doubt, when it's children. But you're an asshole no matter what.
Although it was a plantation owner, so my sympathies aren't...
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna shed any tears over this, but at the same time, you can't just say you can kill people if you disagree with them morally.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
Fair enough. In any case, Johnny, many folklore...
Sometimes, if they're pedophiles, though, go ahead, do what you want. I don't care. But, there's lines. Nothing's absolute.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Like many folklore legends, though, Johnny, the numbers that he is claiming here are overly exaggerated because there is only documented proof of the gang killing 6 people, those 3 in the Wilson home, and then 3 Confederates that approached them shortly after this raid just kind of happened upon them while their gang was hunting their next target, and so the gang just shot those 3 Confederates who were... I want to imagine that they were just like deserters themselves, just trying to get home, and they're like, oh, hey guys, what you guys doing? You got... Looks like you got some blood on you. What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, how are you doing?
And then bang.
Oh, shit. Okay, so they cleared their wanted level by getting rid of all of the police in the area.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
That's what they did.
And that was while the war was still going on.
Oh, that's awful. 3 people died. I'm sorry.
From these 6 confirmed kills, we know absolutely nothing else about the gang that's factual, that can be backed up by anything other than rumors and speculation. That is until 1872.
Now, is it possible, Tommy, that the other 13 people that he claimed to have killed he could have, and then just nobody knew they existed because nobody cared to write down when someone was born.
Yeah, that is very, very.
And they could just no one knows they exist.
It's possible, but in any case, the gang at 20 members in 1865 has dwindled down to just 3 dudes by 1872. Oh. That's
wait,
Mountain Tommy
Are you
Clark.
telling me that a gang comprised of deserters and criminals was not able to stay together over the years, and people just bounced whenever they damn well pleased,
whenever they wanted. Yep.
After they'd gotten their share that they wanted.
Now,
shocking.
Shocking. Now, in 1872, what is left of the shebang or the buggers, they're going to go down to Lauderdale County, and they're going to go ahead and start robbing.
Lauderdale County, Alabama.
Still in Alabama. Yep. Okay. Yep. The Lauderdale Times Extra is going to report that on September 3rd, 1872. Several homes were robbed in the area, and 2 men were spotted around 2 a.m. driving a sorrel mare pulling a buggy. Now, I had to look up sorrel because I was like, what the fuck is a sorrel? It just means that the mare was red. It's describing the color of the pony.
This is just
I'm
like...
also very dubious of because this is 2 o'clock in the morning, pre-electricity. Yeah, you didn't see shit. You didn't see the color of the horse. Shut up.
Hey, Tommy. How many times have you seen a neighborhood report of suspicious figures late at night, jiggling car door handles or whatever, breaking into cars, doing this, that, or the other? And how many times are they given a color in their description of said individuals?
Yeah, fair point, Johnny.
So,
but that's a color of individuals, Johnny. That's not a color of a horse. That'd be like...
No, but people, people are going to be descriptive, and who knows? All the street lights obviously lighting it up. They could have seen it from the roof.
There was gas lights, but I'm
72. Not
go ahead and say probably not even. Yeah,
but in any case, this was just a neighborhood chatter of a bunch of people's houses getting broken into.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, who is it? Anybody know this guy?
On the morning of the 3rd, a posse led by Florence City Marshal William Edward Blair is going to go in search of the gang. They're going to catch up to Mountain Tom and his 2 compatriots at Gravel Springs in Lauderdale County, where the men were in the process of unhitching their horse to stop to get something to eat.
Quick question. I assume they got a direction that they went.
Yes.
From somebody. And was it just the case that there's a road going in that direction, and so they just got on that road?
Yeah, these guys are idiots, Johnny.
And then they just found him just down the road a couple miles.
Yeah.
Where they were unhitching and trying to take a bath,
get something to eat. Get something to eat. Yeah.
Something to eat. Go to the diner or whatever, the saloon.
Yeah. So, and these guys are idiots because at this day and age, you could get away with doing whatever the hell you wanted because unless somebody actually saw you do it,
I don't know anybody ever got caught.
And you had the stolen items in your possession, you're never gonna get charged for anything. It's never gonna happen. But Johnny, when these guys
only people who were caught red-handed did.
Yeah, well, these guys are gonna get caught red-handed because when they're stopped, they are not armed. All their weapons are in the buggy as they're unhitching the buggy. When the gang pulls up, or the posse pulls up on the gang of these 3 men, they realize that they're vastly outnumbered and unarmed, so they promptly surrender. The marshal describes the men as all 3 being dressed very, 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 very fancily dressed gentlemen. So these guys literally were wearing this clothes that they'd stolen from the houses that they were in. Can't get much more red-handed. That's totally my shirt. It's got my name embroidered on the back. So
was everybody just the same size?
Oh God, then? No! I imagine there's going to be some of them that are wearing stuff that's a bit too big, and then maybe some that are a bit too short.
In their fancy just be like, "Hey guys, no, this is totally my coat. It fits. Look at it." Good God!
When Marshal Blair is going to search the buggy, he's also going to find some other pretty damaging evidence, including 8 watches, a handful of breast pins, and various other items, including a leather handbag that was filled with chisels, saws, and picks, and all kinds of other various things that you would use to break into a house or safe boxes. So
they're They had their lock picking kit with them.
They get caught with...
And they had 8 watches, and that's hard to explain for 3 people, because even if everybody's wearing 2 watches, you still have 2 extra watches at that point. That's going to be a hard defense to hold up.
And breast pins, like, why do you have female, brooches? That's odd.
Okay, I was thinking, like, like a...
No, pins like hat pins, like brooches, that
brooch
kind of stuff.
type deal. Okay, that
pins, not pens. Pins, not pens. Yep. Yeah, this is also a little weird.
Pins, not pens.
Pens, pins, not pens. English language is such a fun thing. In any case, it doesn't take very long for the posse to go, we got our guys, and ship them back to the city, where they're going to be held in the city jail. They're going to be held in Florence jail by a sheriff, Calvin Hudson, who immediately looks at the situation and sees that the citizens aren't really too happy with this group, and thinks, I don't know how well the one jailer I have can secure this jail, so I'm going to go ahead and deputize 8 random volunteer citizens to watch the jail overnight until we can have a trial in the morning.
Wait, so the town was so excited that something was happening in their bumfuck town, no doubt.
Yes.
That they all went down to the jail and were... throwing cabbages and tomatoes and stuff at the jail cell or something, trying to start a riot or whatever, like, because as far as they know, he robbed them?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
They only know that this is the guy who robbed a couple houses.
Robbing some houses, yeah. I mean, there's some reputation as to Mountain Tom Clark that's going to get around.
So people do kind of have an idea.
He killed
they've heard
people,
of it.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, around midnight, that angry group of citizens forms a little bit of an angry mob, and they decide to go on September 4th, midnight of September 4th, to the prison and demand the keys to the cell. The 8 jailers are going to refuse, saying, no, it's our duty to make sure that he gets fair trial, so we are not going to hand you over those keys. And one of those newly deputized jailers decides it's a good idea to fire a round off into the crowd.
Shut up. No.
Doesn't hit anybody, but does pop off a round into the crowd, which does not disperse, but instead pops off rounds at the jail, to which point the 8 jailers go, not getting paid for this, drop the guns and run away.
Okay, these were volunteer security guards who were hoping to maybe turn this into hey, you see how good of a job I did on that? I can definitely guard your jail, not, full time. That way I don't have to go join one of these gangs and start murdering people and robbing folks, so that I can have a legitimate job. It's those people that, and then all of a sudden the rest of the town God, how many people can live in this town? A couple thousand?
Yeah, something like that. Whatever.
I mean, good God.
What is described in the newspapers as a sizable mob. So
sizable. So you got to figure 40 to 100 people. 40 to 100 people I would consider sizable mob. And they're all going to go and attack these poor dudes trying to get a job just so they can get their hands on a robber?
Yeah. Well,
also murder, I guess.
3 robbers.
3 of them, yeah. No, I guess 3 of them, yeah. All 3, yeah. Jesus had 2 people hanged with him, too, or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to break into the jail, Johnny, and they're going to grab those 3 men, and they're going to march them outside to the big tree in the front of the
tar and feather them.
And they're going to lynch them up.
Wait, the what? They're taking them to the what?
They're going to put the lynching tree, and they're going to throw ropes over that lynching tree, and they're going to lynch all 3 men and say, good job, and then walk away. Because, how do you, you just lynch the person, you're just like, meh, good enough, he dead now, and go home. How do you fuck it? I don't know. Humanity sucks.
Okay, but all right, real quick question, Tommy. I'm sorry. You go and you lynch 3 guys. What do you do after that? What's the right thing to do here?
Not to lynch him, Johnny.
You're kind of throwing some stones here, Tommy.
I'm saying not to lynch him.
What's the right thing to do?
Not to lynch him. Give him a trial, and if the judge decides to lynch him, then it's his prerogative. Obviously. But you're saying, how do you go home and sleep at night after you lynch some folks for I'm saying you go to Steak and Shake for some after lynching coffee.
Do not think they had Steak and Shake, but
Probably
likely,
not.
I'm guessing this crowd was not sober. I know it's the 1870s. And
not sober. They're going somewhere for some
there
coffee
was
and
no
carpet.
Sober person at that time
Ever.
awake past 10 or 11 p.m.
I'd say 8 o'clock.
I mean, honestly, yeah, like the sober people who are like farming and doing the shit, like they're getting to bed earlier than that.
We need to do an episode on like early Americana and like how much Americans drank early America. Like you went to work with like 6, 7. It's like that TikTok where the guy's like, in Europe you have like 8, 6, 7, 8 sausages for lunch and 2, 3 cigarettes. For the Americans, it's like you have 6, 7, 8 beers for lunch and you go on and you fucking operate heavy machinery. Like that was how we did it in the 1800s.
Was and still is. I just talked to somebody recently who was saying that their father didn't realize that their Bud Light seltzers or whatever had alcohol in them.
He's probably just been driving downtown, like
just drinking those all day, and just like, man, I feel great. This is like, you're wasted.
Oh, well, the next morning, Johnny, the bodies are discovered, and the mayor, Neander H. Rice, is going to order that they be buried in a field near the town. And this is the whole reason why we're doing this episode. Johnny, the legend of his burial begins, where allegedly, during the burial, one of the men that were assigned to his detail remembers that, Tommy used to claim...
Who was investigating who lynched these 3 bodies that they found?
Oh, nobody. They're not investigating that.
Nobody didn't give a shit.
Criminals, who cares?
Just they may have been guilty. We don't know because we didn't give them a trial. May have been guilty. We're not going to take a look at who did this.
Too late now. Nope, just go bury it. And one of the burial details remembers that Tommy used to claim that nobody would ever run over Tom Mountain Clark.
Yeah, no one's running over him.
So they're going to go ahead and allegedly bury him under East Tennessee Street to forever be ran over and over and over and over by everybody who drives down East Tennessee Street.
East Tennessee... Yeah. This has to still be a road,
yeah,
right?
It's still a road.
Basically, what we did was we took early roads and we just paved them.
Yeah, it's a dirt
I imagine
road
it was dirt at the time.
Maybe cobblestone, but dirt, probably dirt. And now we paved it, and now it's still there.
He's buried.
And there is a historical marker that is placed at the alleged spot, Mountain Tom Clark, where he is allegedly still buried underneath.
Now, surely we could confirm this. We could confirm that he's buried there, right?
We can pretty much confirm that he is most definitely not buried there, because... The first written report to ever mention this in any kind of news article or written folklore is in the 1930s. That's the first time any reference to Mountain Tom Clark being buried under East Tennessee Street is written. The first-hand accounts...
60 years
Yeah, the first-hand accounts in 1872...
What is this, the Bible?
Yeah, the first-hand accounts in 1872, none of them. They mentioned the lynching. They mentioned Mountain Tom Clark being one of the ones that was lynched. They mentioned the robberies. There was no reference to a burial detail like shucking his body up underneath the road. Didn't happen.
You would think
also
that people burying a body in the street, also the construction, there would at least be people complaining about the construction while he is being buried in this street, because obviously you have to dig a hole deep enough. It's going to shut down the road for a day or two. And then you got to make sure it's packed down again so you're not getting wagons getting in the rut of it with the soft soil on top. The logistics behind burying somebody in the street to be run over for the end of time are a headache back in that day.
Yes, headache now.
Now you just pave over it and fine, whatever, you're good, but...
Yeah, and
we have steamrollers, we got all sorts of shit. Yeah. We could do it now, no problem.
Yeah, I got you. And also the fact that this road is, it's been paved and paved and paved and paved. I'm sure at some point in one of the paving processes, they would have come up with a body.
I don't know about that, because, if you're just doing new surface shit, like, you're not digging out 6 feet of earth to repave a road, Tommy.
Maybe.
But that's also assuming
he went 6 feet down.
That the petty, spiteful mob that buried him in the street allegedly cared enough to bury him the appropriate depth.
But Johnny,
which I'm sure they did not.
Like I said, that's not going to stop it from being a tourist trap, because today you can still go to
Lauderdale if they put
County
a sign up
and see a sign that says the story of Mountain Tom Clark, which pretty much, if you read that sign, that's about the story of Mountain Tom Clark.
That's this episode?
Like, this dude doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. That's how non-existent of a legend this dude is. Yeah, it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Yeah.
Somebody go put up a Wikipedia page. Base all your facts on this episode. It is the most researched dive into Big Mountain Tommy Clark, whatever.
It will be the longest episode on Mountain Tom Clark on YouTube, so take that for what it's worth.
Oh, longest is best. That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and join us next week when we talk about the Ottoman Empire.